afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are watching from. My name is Ash. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back here from a previous video, welcome back. Today I'm coming to you with my October TBR video, or the 4 books that I am going to try to read this month, but I am not going to beat myself up if I do not get through all of them. Let's jump into it. Oh, before I do, say hi to Igor. This is the only Halloween-themed decoration that I own. I bought it at Walgreens, and I absolutely love it. Say hi to Igor. Igor says hi. Okay, let's talk books. The first book I am reading this month is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I was so excited for this book to come out, and I'm so happy I have a couple of copies of it. This book is about a young girl named Bree who goes to a college program. I think it's a program at UNC Chapel Hill. And she's basically trying to escape the memories of her home and the grief that she's experiencing after her mother passes away. And while she is at the school, she witnesses a magical attack and discovers the secret society called Legendborn. This is a King Arthur retelling, which I love. So, yeah. First book I'm reading this month. Second book I'm reading this month, Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. I got this book in an Owl Crate box, and if you watched, I think, my mid-year book freakout tag, I think it was the mid-year book freakout tag, I said that I'm really bad at reading the books that I get in Owl Crate boxes. I'm reading this one. I really wanted this book anyway, and then when I got it in the Owl Crate box, I was super excited. Anyway, this book is about a girl named Renata, and she has this really rare magic. I think she's like a memory thief, and she's working as a spy or a rebel against the king of the province or kingdom where she lives. Anyway, so that's Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. Okay, she's called a Whisper. Okay, she's one of the Whispers working with the rebel spies against the king. So that's Incendiary, and that is the second book I will be reading this month. The idea of a memory thief and that type of magic definitely gave me some somewhat spooky vibes, so I decided that this was another book I was going to read in October. And this cover is stunning. I'm very excited about this. The third book I am reading is a mystery, and I don't read a lot of mysteries. It's just not a genre that I particularly enjoy. But this book was a book I had to get. And that is Redemption Prep by Samuel Miller. This book is about a girl who goes to this very exclusive boarding school in Utah and disappears, and it's the mystery of trying to find out what happened to her and where she went. So this book came out in, I think, April, and I'm just getting to it now. I've been kind of saving it for Halloween, because I figured this would be a good book to read during the month of October. So that is my fourth book. My third book for the month of October. That's Redemption Prep. Yeah. And then my last book, which is probably one of the ones I'm most excited about, is the novelization of one of my favorite movies. And it is the novelization of Pan's Labyrinth. The movie was directed and done by Guillermo del Toro, and he worked with Cornelia Funk. I think the last name is Funk. Who was the author of Coraline, which I loved when I was a kid. But Pan's Labyrinth, hands down, is probably my favorite horror movie, and it's a combination of horror and fantasy. There's a whole story behind it about how I ended up seeing the movie when I was 14 years old. But anyway, the movie is about this young girl, Ophelia, who moves out to the Spanish countryside with her mother to go live with this Spanish war captain during the era of the Spanish Civil War. Her mother is pregnant with the with the Spanish captain's child, and while she's living there, Ophelia is visited by this faun who tells her that she is this lost princess of what is basically the underworld, and she has to complete these 3 tasks in order to prove herself worthy to return to her kingdom. The movie is beautifully done. Anything Guillermo del Toro puts his hands on is beautifully done, but it's not just a fantasy. There are some horror aspects in it, and it's not just traditional horror aspects. The fantasy world is juxtaposed up against the world of what's going on in the Spanish Civil War. So there is a lot of blood and gore in the movie, at least for me. But it's so beautifully told, such a beautifully told story that I had to pick up the novelization when I found out that there was a novelization of the movie. So this is the fourth book that I will be reading this month. Now, if I get through these 4 books, there are a few others that I kind of have on a backup or secondary TBR. But I'm going to start with these 4, and if I finish them, great, and if not, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm trying to get back into the habit of doing TBRs, but then not getting down on myself when I don't finish TBRs. So we're going to start with 4, and if we finish 4, we'll move on to other books, and I'll do a secondary TBR. Anyway, I hope everyone's enjoying the first few days of October. The weather has been beautiful. I can wear sleeves and my checkerboard shirts and my plaid shirts, and it's just wonderful. Anyway, I hope everyone's enjoying the first few days of October. I hope you're staying safe in the world of COVID, and I will see everyone in the next video. Give a like, give a subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I will be back with you some other time. Bye!